The Texas National Guard is currently in a physical standoff versus federal border patrol agents. In an overnight DOJ filing, feds confirmed the Texas National Guard, quote, has deployed armed soldiers and vehicles to block federal government from accessing the river. Oh, yes, I love a good old, some good old Texan independence, you know? So I'm just guessing, before reading the document, I'm just guessing, the Texan National Guard. Well, actually, no. Who wants to kill Mexicans more, do you think, of these two? Because the problem between these two groups is they have different levels at which they want to kill Mexicans. You know? That's what the standoff is about, I assume. Texas informed them no BP agents will be allowed to enter Shelby Park in any operational capacity. This is a significant escalation by Texas after feds fought to remove Texas water barriers and razor wire. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, all right, what Texas likes to do is, they put these like water barriers with razor wire in the Rio Grande. And what these do is if you're a poor, desperate, hopeful migrant looking to seek refuge in America, you swim across and you get caught in the barrier and you die. You die. You get caught up in it and you die. Like you're a child and you're looking for a better life and you're trying to swim across, and it's tough because swimming across a river like the Rio Grande is not easy. And then you get caught in the net and you die. Let me see. Texas, Rio, razor wire. Yeah, this thing. Here we go. Sometimes these are just below the water line, so you can't always see the orange, and you're swimming across, and the barbed wire catches on your clothing, and you die. See, that's the thing that it does. It kills you. And the Texans love this. The Texans want more of this. So that's one thing. The other thing that Texans really enjoy doing is sometimes people will leave water stations in Texas, in areas where there isn't much human life, where the desert is too dry and inhospitable for human life. They'll leave water stations so that when migrants are making their way up, they can have water and not die. And what Texas Border Patrol folks will do is they'll cut those water, like barrels or bottles or whatever else. They'll destroy them so that instead people will die. So those are the two things that Texas is trying to defend here. They want the razor wire to kill people, and they want to destroy the water to kill people. So that's my understanding of the situation, if I have it correct, and I'm pretty sure I do. Feds fought to remove Texas water barriers. Oh, sorry, fought to remove Texas water barriers. So these would be what? The Texas is erecting barriers to water? Well, okay. Well, yes, that is exactly what it says. I suppose I'll look it up because I know they have a tendency to cut those. Oh, by water barriers, we're talking about the non-razor wire barriers on the Rio Grande. Sorry. Okay, so they're talking about the razor wire barriers and just the water barriers in general. Sorry. The destroying little water stations along the way, that's just something they do for fun. Okay, now we know the stakes. So the federal government doesn't like the fact that Texas wants to murder lots of Mexicans. Okay, nice. We're caught up on the specifics of the situation here. Oh, right. I saw this. Yeah. Here we go. Everyone, Texas Governor Greg Abbott.
We are using every tool that can be used, from building a border wall to building these border barriers to passing this law that I signed that led to another lawsuit by the Biden administration, where I signed a law making it illegal for somebody to enter Texas from another country. And they're subject to arrest and subject to deportation. And so we are deploying every tool and strategy that we possibly can. The only thing that we're not doing is we're not shooting people who come across the border because, of course, the Biden administration would charge us with murder.
You believe that? With under woke Biden's America, they'll charge you with murder simply for murdering people. You know? The governor of Texas, by the way, second largest state in the union, said unambiguously, The only reason we're not just murdering migrants is because apparently somebody, some liberal made it illegal to murder people, you know? Crazy, the stuff you can't do these days. So anyway, this is the political environment in which the Texas National Guard is trying to block the federal government from accessing the river. According to the Border Patrol agencies, you were not allowed to transport you to pick up the Border Patrol agents in a vehicle towing a boat were denied access to Shelby Park, where the boat ramp is located. Okay, guys, it's going to sound a little dramatic here. However, the fate of American democracy rests on Biden murking those fucking Texans. When you get to a point where state governments have reached, like, we're just going to murder migrants, and by the way, if the federal government tries to stop us, we're going to block them. Federal government's above the state government, okay? You go right back to that states' rights bullshit. Sherman's going to come marching south again, okay? Jesus Christ, absolutely not. You cannot let them get away with this shit, especially not Texas, okay? The most uppity of the states. Yeah, no, absolutely not. This needs to be dealt with. Yep, there are so many unidentified border bodies left on the border already. Oh yeah, to be sure, like absolutely.
It was the summer of
100%, yeah. Like, we've seen this before with the forced hysterectomies of migrant women who came up through the border. Anytime you have people who do not have legal citizenship status, people who are not well tracked or kept legally, they are like free game for psychopaths to murder, kidnap, traffic, whatever else. The Israelis do it with the Palestinians. There's plenty of records on that. People down by the border do it with migrants. People in America and Canada do it with indigenous people. Anytime it's kind of like shaky ground legally, a little harder to keep track of people. It just attracts psychopaths. Trust me, guys. Texas is absolutely chock full of lunatics who want nothing more than to get together with their prepper buddies and start gunning down Mexicans at the border. I swear to God, like, this is a not insignificant portion of the Texas GOP electorate, okay? It's a real issue. You cannot let the federal agents be kept from there. Ruben. On January 11th, I spoke with the Texas Department of Public Safety. The regional director advised me that it is the position of the state of Texas through the National Guard that it will not allow Border Patrol or DOD personnel who support Border Patrol into approximately 2.5-mile stretch along the national border near Shelby Park in any operational capacity. I was further advised that Texas does not want Border Patrol to be able to arrest, process, or transport migrants out of the identified area. These uppity motherfuckers. Oh, sorry, federal agents. You can't travel to the border of your country? Nuh-uh. Cannot let this shit go. I'm not even speaking from a legal perspective. You know, God's honest truth. I don't know the extent to which the state government has the ability to intercept and deny access to federal employees in this case. I'm speaking morally. You can't let this shit fly. Among Republicans, how popular would the idea of landmining the border be? Fine. I'd be willing to bet like 1 in 3 Republicans, if you asked them, if you polled them, would probably be okay with invading Mexico. Guys, they were talking about it in the one Republican presidential primary debate that we looked at. They were literally like bragging about the extent, like they were like competing over who most wants to invade Mexico. They're insane. What even would the point be? There doesn't have to be the point is suffering. The point is they're evil. They're demons. They want to drink blood. They want to kill. They want to. They're evil. That's the point. You know, can't go looking for rationality in the whole thing. They want to nuke Mexico. I really wouldn't be surprised if, like, I don't think any Republican legislator would say they want to nuke Mexico, but I think that if you ask them, like, yeah, what do you think we should do? Like, they're a threat to our country. Do you think we should nuke them? Like, they're invading our country. Do you think we should nuke them? I bet you that a lot of them would give, like, half answers to that. Like, really, I do. Because they're so hardline on the issue, they don't even want to come across as looking soft at that level, you know? Jesus. Oh, we got a video accompaniment. I love video accompaniments. No audio? I kind of wanted that. Hmm. Fighting the Fed would be a violation of any National Guard's oath. Look, I don't want to speak to the legality of the situation. Also, Texans are insane. You know, I'm only talking about the trying to see if I can find more information on this. Trying to see if Greg Abbott has talked about this. I don't see anything. It's called Camp Shelby Park. Shelby Park Border Patrol. Texas National Guard blocking Border Patrol from accessing stretch of border. I just want more info on this. You know, I don't want to sound alarmist here, but it's a pretty big deal, you know.
At the Texas border, where state troopers have seized one town's park despite the mayor's wishes. Images shot by the mayor.
Oh, against the mayor's wishes too. Huh.
Mayor of Eagle Pass show fencing and military vehicles blocking the park. Now, the park is known to be a staging area for law enforcement carrying out Governor Abbott's Operation Lone Star, tasked with preventing immigrants from illegally crossing the border. The mayor of Eagle Pass saying, quote, "This is not something that..."
It's not illegal to cross the border. That's not illegal.
Immigration is really a bunch of...
Up. I paused. It's not illegal to cross the border. That's bad framing. It's not just bad. It's not bad framing. It's just a lie. It's not a... It's not... If you are a migrant or a refugee, you can cross the border and then declare yourself at an appropriate, you know, station. They're allowed to do that. That's how international law works. The administration has argued that states cannot restrain federal officials from carrying out their duties, that federal officials have primary responsibility for immigration policy and enforcement on the border. An injunction issued by a lower court against the removal is not warranted while litigation proceeds because of the risk to, quote, human life posed by the wire and because of the supremacy of federal and law enforcement authority, the administration argued. The state responded in its filing to the Supreme Court that removing the razor wire fencing refutes the federal government's intended purpose of enforcing immigration policy. Defendants may not seek judicial blessing or practice that both directly contravene the same statutory obligations and require the destruction of plaintiff's property, the state said, citing a district court's ruling on the matter. The court has not said when it will weigh in the matter. Lovely. Love to see this deferred to the Supreme Court, rendering its agents unable to place mobile surveillance trucks. The filing also says agents were denied access to a boat ramp used to access the Rio Grande as well as staging area. An attached declaration by Robert Danley, Customs and Border Protection's lead field coordinator for the Del Rio sector and chief patrol agent, says Border Patrol agents and Texas DPS personnel were told by a mayor and the Texas National Guard that they would, quote, no longer allow anyone, including to include Texas DPS, to drop off or turn over migrants in the Festoff area. You can post on Facebook for the state is taking full control. Major, not mayor, sorry, major. Is taking full control of Shelby Park to prevent migrants from illegally crossing into Texas from Mexico. Mayor Salinas says, that is not a decision we agreed to. This is not something we wanted. This is not something we asked for as a city. I want to make that clear. I would love to see people make a states' rights argument about how bad it is for the federal government to trample on Texas's business while the state of Texas tramples on the wishes of a city, you know? Fantastic stuff. Salinas said he was informed the state is taking control of the park, quote, indefinitely under the governor's border disaster declaration that renewed in December. Texas DPS referred ABC News' questions to the Texas Military Department. In a statement, a spokesperson for the Texas Military Department told ABC News the move was in preparation of future attempts by migrants to cross into the state between ports of entry and restrict access to organizations that perpetuate illegal immigrant crossings in the park and Great Eagle Pass area. Yeah, so the argument, the legal argument being made, essentially, is literally like, we are denying the federal government access to this area on the grounds that the federal government is allowing illegal immigration to happen. It's not even the federal government is interfering in our business. It's the federal government is like a hostile entity that is perpetuating illegal immigrant crossings. Again, obviously, international law, they're allowed to cross. That's already allowed. But, like, this is insane. We need to do Reconstruction too. Biden needs to crush this state. What the fuck are you arguing about? Bricklayer. The term for the thing, Operation Lone Star, is LARPy because, like every other fucking thing Texans do, it's all yeehaw, howdy, howdy, thumbs in belt, big 10-gallon hat bullshit. When it's just regular old fascist nonsense, you know, it's LARPy because it's a part of like Texas's incredibly annoying tendency to pretend that they're somehow more independent than other states. That's the LARP part. How does a state have a military? Well, they all have their own, National Guard detachments. The Texas Military Department is composed of the 3 branches of the military in the state of Texas. Wow. The Army National Guard, Air National Guard, and presumably Naval National Guard. No, Texas State Guard. Oh, well, there you go. All 3 branches are administered by the State Adjutant General, an appointee of the Governor of Texas, and fall under the command of the Governor. That's how it works. There you go, folks. Are you all ready for the good old US of A to go to war with the Texas Military Department? Let's go. Let's go. Realistically, what would happen if the feds just arrested every member? I mean, it could go any way, right? Like, this is the Texas, National Guard, right? A lot of these people are lunatics. They might just shoot. I mean, who knows? Pretty sure Biden can just nationalize them, then order them to stand down. I mean, that would depend on whether or not they answered, right? Texas has always had a pretty strong secessionist streak. There's a very real possibility that any direct contradiction there would actually lead to, like, some kind of, like, actual treason shit going on, you know? Kind of hard to say. The U.S. National Guard isn't nationalized. The National Guard, every state has, like, a National Guard detachment that is controlled by, like, their state, the governor. But they are ultimately, like, they fall under a chain of command that ultimately leads back to the president. So they may answer to Governor Abbott, but theoretically, that can be contradicted by orders from the federal government. The question is, are the kinds of people who join up for the Texas National Guard crazy enough that they would ignore those orders? You know, it's, many such cases. Wonder how many nuclear warheads are stationed. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It doesn't matter. Texas can't use those nukes. Yeah, I know, 2D Siggy, but it'll never happen. Abbott's office released a statement pushing blame on President Joe Biden. Texas is holding the line at our southern border with miles of additional razor wire and anti-climb barriers to deter and repel the record-high levels of illegal immigration invited by President Biden's reckless open border policies. It's just all political theater. Instead of enforcing federal immigration laws, the Biden administration allows unfettered access for Mexican cartels to smuggle people into our country, spokesperson Renee Easy said. Texas will continue to deploy Texas National Guard soldiers, DPS troopers, and more barriers, utilizing every tool and strategy to respond to President Biden's ongoing border crisis. It's literally all it's all political theater. Like, all of this is just, like, taking more pot shots at Biden. That's it. All just Nazi lies. Yeah, just Nazi lies. White House spokesperson Angelo Fernandez, redundant, said in a statement on Friday, Governor Abbott continues his extreme political stunts that not only seek to demonize and dehumanize people, but that also make it harder and more dangerous for Border Patrol to do their jobs, whether it's leaving migrants on the side of the road in dead of winter, installing razor wire to make Border Patrol's job more dangerous, promoting extreme and unconstitutional laws like SB 4, or his latest actions in Eagle Pass. Governor Abbott has repeatedly proven he is not interested in solutions and only seeks to politicize the border. Selena says city officials are determining if they have legal options to regain control of the park. Abbott's been doing this for a while. Remember Abbott's policy of, like, busing migrants, just literally kidnapping busfuls of migrants and just throwing them up into Democrat states. And then when the migrants exit out into the Democrat states, he's like, haha, now you have brown people in your state. How do you feel about that? Human trafficking, you mean? Yeah, no, fully. Yeah, 100%. The fact that, like, he hasn't been, like, tried for that is like purely an exercise in reinforcing, everyone's belief that, like, illegal immigrants or undocumented migrants aren't even people. Like, you can literally just lie to them and send them to some other place. Like, this would be a crime if anyone else did it, but because a Republican governor is doing it, it's like, well, whatever,